Okay, this one I want to introduce is a pattern that I do a lot, where I take a PDF and I take it and make it into pages in N8N and then give it to Vision AI so it can read the pages more than OCR can. And then I can add that to the RAG system with more context. For example, we might have a chart and other information on a document. And sure, OCR can get this really easily, or when you do inside of N8N, just pull the data out or the text. But it doesn't do these. And so what I want to do, and I'm going to show you, is we're going to send it to N8N, make them into pages of images, give those images to the LLM and have it tell us what's going on here. Now, we're going to use StirlingPDF, which is awesome. One install, and someone showed me this at work. So one install on Coolify, and you have StirlingPDF. And I'm going to change this URL after the demo. But my point is, that's it. You have this API you can use. And so what we're going to do is we'll do it in the UI here for a moment just to watch it happen. So let's go convert that, and then we should get like maybe 5 pages, whatever that was. And so what we get out of that is this. And we get a bunch of images. So we're going to hand those to the AI. Now, they have Swagger docs and everything, so you can really get going quickly and just learn how to do things. In my case, and I'll share this in my forums. There's a link below. You pay to join them. I'll share these workflows here. This is a really good one. So on form submission or on database update, when someone submits this to our bucket inside of Superbase, this is really awesome. We can then do this work here. And so what's going to happen is when we upload that particular file, we're going to then hit the API we have with that file, and then we're going to turn it into images. So the weirdness here, and it might just be me and not knowing how to do this better, is that it's a compressed image. So it's a compressed file, a zip. So we have to do a few things here to wait for that to be done. And then once it's done, we then write it to disk, read it from disk, and then uncompress it. Could probably be done better. That's just where I'm at with this. And then we get the data and we process it. So let's go run this and watch it work. So now we're going to upload that file and give that a go. And then we're probably going to be processing here. All right, so if this worked, we're going to see this stuff's the easy part, right? Like we just give it to this and it returns something. Now, this was a tricky part because they return the PDF and the stream. And then in here, I just write the particular data to here. So I don't write the document, but the data to a test on my Coolify, which is really neat. And then I open that, I read it, and grab that data. And finally, I decompress it. So I decompress that data and turn it into multiple files. So in this case, it's those 5 files we saw. And then I loop. Now, you remember my real-time videos. This is cool. You could be showing that in the UI. And I'll do a whole work through. This is one of my videos coming up in like next week or two, where we upload a file through the UI into Superbase. And then the person in the UI can see the pages show up as this stuff is happening. So anyways, in here, we then loop over each file one at a time, or sorry, the content, or let me go back here. So here's just a little bit of code to say, let's go make a list out of this. And then we loop over that list with each item. Let's go to a loop being that file, okay? And at this point, we then iterate over those by giving that to the AI system. And here's where your prompt matters. Like this prompt is horrible, right? But let's see if we get to one of these other ones. Here we go. You can see it says this image is the chart area. And the chart uses 2 colors. So it's nice, right? This would enter into your particular RAG system with way more validity or depth. I think sometimes in the done loop, you can do this kind of thing too, where you can see all that data. Yeah, here we go. So you can see like you could go through this whole process, then go do something with that data as well, concatenate it or ragify it or whatever. But okay, so you get the point. You can take that Stirling API, get all that awesome results out of it, take those images and give them to the Vision AI. And as you saw, there's a lot more it can do. So it's really worth thinking about. And I know people are like, oh, it's not the best code, or I don't really know, honestly. But look it, I can get away with all these things inside of its API now. That's pretty neat. Run it on Coolify, hit the API from your N8N, and then deal with the data from there. All right, enjoy. That's a really good one. Enjoy that one.